Alright, now that we defined our function, let's call it wherever we load the nodes. Okay, so we need to call it the same way we've done with the click on nodes function. So I'm going to call it there and there as well, because we reload the nodes. Okay, now let's save and go to the delete nodes.php file. So first of all, we need to get the ID of the nodes through Ajax. So let's create a variable node ID and get the ID of the nodes from the post array. Okay, so the key here is going to be ID, because when we wrote our Ajax call in the data parameter, we sent ID. Okay, now let's run the query. So we're gonna create a query to delete the nodes using its ID. So the syntax is delete from our table nodes, and the condition is where ID equals the ID of the nodes, which is nodes ID. You can add another condition if you want, just for extra security. You can get the user ID from the session variable and add another condition in the where statements. Okay, but it's not necessary. Okay, so now let's run the query using the MySQLi underscore query function. So it's going to take a couple of parameters again, the link variable where we store the connection and our query. Okay, so now we're going to check if we get any errors. Okay, so if results is false, so you're going to check the opposite of results. Basically, for a delete query, the results variable is going to be either true or false. Okay, so it's not going to be an object as when we're using a select statement. So if that's the case, we're going to echo error. Okay, so let's save and refresh our page, and let's go to the edit mode and delete the first node. Okay, now let's go to the database and check if we've got only 2 nodes left. Perfect, we've got only 2 nodes. Okay, so we've deleted the other nodes. Okay, so everything is working. All right, now if we click on the done button, we would like to hide all the delete buttons. Okay, and make all the nodes take the full width as before. Okay, and also we're going to hide the done button and show the edit button. So let's go ahead and do this. All right, so let's go back to our JavaScript file. Okay, okay, so that's where we are. So you're going to select the button done. Okay, using its ID, which is done, and then we're going to use the click method, and the function to execute is going to be as following. So first of all, we're gonna switch to the non-edit mode. Okay, so right here we are in the edit mode. If you click on done, you go out of that edit mode. So edit mode is going to go back to false. Okay, so let's add a comment there, switch to non-edit mode. All right, next we're going to expand our notes, and basically to reduce the width of the notes, we gave them an extra class. So all we need to do now is remove that class. Okay, so we're gonna select all notes using the class notes header. Okay, and instead of adding the class, we're going to remove the class. So the class we've added was a couple of classes, column XS7 for extra small devices and column SM9. Okay, and then we're gonna show certain elements and hide certain elements. Okay, so show hide elements, and also let's add a comment there, expand the notes. Okay, okay, so let's use the show hide function. So we're going to show the edit button. Okay, let's use its ID, and we're going to hide the done button. So we can do this using the keyword this, because we are inside that element which we are selecting, and also we are going to hide the delete buttons. So we can do that using the delete class. Okay, so let's save and refresh. Let's click on edit, let's click on done. Again, perfect, everything is working. All right, now let's play a little bit with our app and make sure that everything is working. So if I click on add note, okay, let's click on all notes, perfect, edit, delete, done. Okay, so now what if I click on add note straight away from here? Okay, it all works. Now if I go back to all notes, great, edit, delete, done, edit, delete, done. So we don't have any notes at the moment. So let's click on add notes. If I go back to all notes without writing anything there, I would expect a message saying you have not created any notes yet. Okay. So if I click on edit now and then nothing happens, add a note, another one. Okay. Another one. Okay, everything seems to be working. You might want to add one improvement to the code. So basically, if you delete all notes, okay, like this, then you might want to show a message in here, okay, when you click on done, just like this one, for example, okay. That's something you can add to the code, but for now, we're gonna leave it like this. All right, now before we move to the profile management, I'm just going to make a quick change to this section. Basically, we need to show the username of our user, okay? Just like we've got there, logged in as whatever the username is. So we're going to go back to our PHP file, main page, logged in.php, and we're going to go to this link. So instead of username, we're going to write some PHP code in there to retrieve the actual username of our user. Okay. So we can get the username from the session array. So we're just going to echo session, and the key is going to be username. Okay. So let's save. The reason why we can access that is because when we logged our user in, we stored this inside the session array. Okay, so let's refresh our page. Okay, and we can see the username, and that's the right username for user ID 11. Yes. Okay. All right, so in the next video, we're going to start writing code for profile management. Okay.